What's up YouTube? It's RS Mario, bringing you another Zelda video, my first one in like 2 weeks. Alright, so yeah, I moved these Zelda videos to bi-weekly instead of weekly. So it gives me a chance to not only do other videos and other things, but also it gives kind of a chance for some actual news and maybe some valid rumors to pop up. It wasn't really the case this week. We did get a few pieces of news and some rumors. The rumors really aren't worth growing into that much, but the news is interesting, I guess you can say. But yeah, this video is basically going to be about the top 8 things Nintendo can do to really change the formula for this game. But first, I'm gonna go into some actual, somewhat valid news. So this one, you kind of take with a, well, it's not really a grain of salt type of news, but I got this off of VentureBeat, and they were talking about earlier today, Nintendo of America released their, well, not today, actually this was a couple days ago, but they released this picture with the, with basically the list of games coming out for Wii U from September 26th, with yesterday with Hyrule Warriors, through to next year. And it still has, you know, Zelda Wii U slated for next year. No real confirmation of when next year, you know, if the game will probably come out next year. More than likely it's going to be around November. It's going to be later next year. But yeah, it also gives you some insight into some other things coming out next year, like Splatoon, you know, Yoshi's Woolly World, Mario Maker, Project Giant Robot, you know, all these things coming out, you know, next year. So there won't be a game drought, at least coming from Nintendo when it comes to Wii U games. So the other piece of news here is this one might actually be pretty old, and this one comes from WeGotThisCovered.com. But it's basically you know, E.G. Ayanuma was doing a interview about Hyrule Warriors, and well, he talked about Hyrule Warriors, and he was talking about how people were saying the cutscenes in Hyrule Warriors look so good, and they do. I've seen the cutscenes, some of them. So E.G. Ayanuma went on talking about you know, the cutscenes in Hyrule Warriors, and how he kind of felt some way about this, you know, and more or less is more of you know, he got a little bit jelly at the cutscenes. He's like, all right, so we gotta stump up the game for Zelda Wii U, which means the cutscenes should look awesome in Zelda Wii U. Here's his official comment. Okay, looking at the comments on Miiverse regarding Hyrule Warriors, it's been great to see a lot of positive feedback, but one of the things that leaves me with rather complicated feelings is that people are saying, oh wow, I really love the cutscenes in this game. This is better than the stuff Nintendo does. Of course, this leaves me with a little conflicted. This leaves me a little conflicted, and gives me a mission to make sure the new Zelda game I'm working on can hold its own in that aspect against Hyrule Warriors. Basically saying that, yeah, okay, it's on now, Tecmo Koei. So he's basically gonna make sure, you know, that the game's cutscenes look awesome, which, I mean, that's great, you know. I mean, he should do that, you know. I mean, not to mention, this could probably show that the Wii U has some power under the hood, you know, and it's not just a last-gen system like people are saying it is. So on to the news. Well, not the news. On to the list. Alright, so top 8 things Nintendo can do to change the game on Zelda. I'm gonna get this one out of the way real quick. Number 8, open world. Alright, so a lot of people have been talking about this. This has been kind of a hot button issue when it comes to Zelda. You know, Nintendo talked about open world back at E3, then they kind of backpedaled on open world in the last few months. Well, I mean, you open the can of worms now, you might as well go ahead and do it now. I mean, open world is, people are gonna expect it now. It's been said. I mean, I kind of know what they're talking about when they said open world, but a lot of people, they think open world, they think Skyrim, they think Grand Theft Auto. So I'm not thinking that big a scope. but non-linearity would be awesome. Number 6, give Link some magic, man. Like, I mean, Link does have magic, you know, in some ways. Like, you know, his sword, well, the Master Sword can kind of shoot out like rays, you know, in Skyward Sword and a few other games. But I'm talking about give Link some actual magic, you know. I mean, because he does technically, even though we don't know that, you know, the Triforce will be in this game or not. But, you know, he is a holder of the piece of the Triforce in a lot of games. And yet, he doesn't get any actual powers from it. Like, you know, Ganondorf gets a ton of magical powers. Zelda has a ton of magical powers. Link doesn't. He's just Link. I mean, he has the power of courage. Number 5, exploring the unknown. So, alright, one thing that I liked about Zelda games is, I like about games in general, especially games, you know, in this, like, era, I guess you can call it, exploration. They should make exploration a big thing in this game. You know, not just like, oh, well, go here and get this, you know. They should make it like, oh, well, you have to go way out here in order to complete this mission and then come back. And then make it difficult to do so, you know. Like, you know, Skyrim, one of the complaints about Skyrim were that some of the quests were like, go fetch this type of quest. But one of the coolest things about Skyrim is all the random crap that happens between point A and point B, which is why I don't really fast travel that much. Because, you know, you can be going from point A to point B, and you can have a chick come up to you and say she got robbed by bandits. You know, you go deal with the bandits, and then you continue to go on your way, and you get attacked by vampires, and you fight off the vampires, and you have a freaking quest inside a quest. You know, it's pretty interesting. Something like that in Zelda will actually stretch the game out and make the game a lot more awesome. Number 4, mix a little bit of darkness in with your bright colors. Alright, so this one is more of, you know, this one's more of a story-based one here. Now, one thing a lot of people didn't like about games like Spirit Tracks, games like Wind Waker, and one thing people complain about in this game is that the art style is too bright, colorful, and cartoony. One way they could contrast this is they could have the really bright, cartoony art style, but kind of have some dark moments in the story. Kind of like how Majora's Mask was kind of, you know, still kind of an upbeat, happy Zelda game, but it had a lot of dark moments in it. And that was one of the things that make it one of my favorite Zelda games of all time. You know, is those dark, crazy moments. Like, that freaking mask salesman, like, that dude's insane. Number 3, don't go easy on me, bro. Alright, so number 3, this one is basically about the difficulty. This is another complaint about Skyward Sword, that it wasn't difficult enough. A lot of people say that Skyward Sword wasn't that hard, and I haven't really beaten Skyward Sword. Sorry, don't kill me. But, you know, I mean, I was just playing other stuff, you know. I mean, it came out right before Skyrim, and Skyrim ate my life when it came out. So, sorry, people. But, I mean, it's not that hard of a game. It's not as hard as Twilight Princess and a couple other games. But, you know, yeah, crank up that difficulty. That's another way to stretch the game out. If you get killed a bunch of times on a level, that can take a game from being like, you know, 10 hours to being 15-20 hours, because it takes you that much longer to beat the game because it's hard. Especially if it's got like hard puzzles, something that you gotta think about. That would be awesome. Number 2. Now that's a twist. Alright, so number 2 is now this one, I have kind of mixed on this one. I actually talked to some people about this one, and they're like, dude, go ahead and put it in there. It will be pretty interesting. But this is basically about plot twists. You know, to have a plot twist in the story, you know, would be interesting. You know, because one of the coolest things about A Link Between Worlds was that plot twist. You know, where it's like, oh, you know, I mean, even though you kind of saw it coming because technically Lorule is a mirror world of Hyrule, so you can expect some things to be different. But the plot twist and finding out that, you know, that Hilda is, you know, is evil, kind of, sort of, was an awesome, you know, that was an awesome element to that game. And number one, all right, this one I don't really have that much faith in, but I hope that they take this one into consideration. Keep it low tech. Um, Now you saw in the trailer. They had the giant like robot looking guy. He looks like a stone robot. You know, they had Link. He had the high tech laser arrows and stuff. I know this game is not gonna be like freaking Mass Effect levels of high tech, but there is gonna be a level of tech in this game. And I kind of don't. I mean, I'm not really that big of a fan of it. I kind of like Zelda staying in the old magic and mysticism days of swords and shields and armors and stuff. You know, I don't really want them to get into that, you know, to that high techness. I mean, this all could be magic. If this was magic, that'd be awesome. But kind of keep it low tech, you know. So that's it for this list. I am gonna be doing. I'm gonna go back to the more theoretical Zelda videos. Because right now I'm working on another theory, and the way I do this, if you watch my other Zelda videos, I come up with a central theory of what the game could be like based on lore and the timeline and other stuff, and I branch that theory out into other things, and it takes like 3-4 videos. And I'm writing another one of those theories now. You know, I'm doing the research on the lore and what place it could be in the timeline. And yeah, so theoretical Zelda videos are coming back. They're not going anywhere. It just takes time. So yep, just keep a lookout for my videos. Check out my Pokemon battles. I'm gonna be doing a lot more of those. They're quick and easy to do now, so I'm gonna be doing a lot more Pokemon battles. And you know, check out my Pokemon video from yesterday, and like, comment, subscribe, and keep it real, people.